Hello, sixth graders, and welcome to your first virtual lesson. This was inspired actually by a Halloween lesson that I saw, and I loved it simply because it has so much texture. The texture in this piece is created by lots and lots and lots of little bitty lines. So get ready because you're about to create something with a lot of texture based on line work. I, as an artist, love texture. One of my very first books that I was just like, oh my gosh, is Where the Wild Things Are. This book, the images are just gorgeous. When you look very closely at these images, you will see so much line work. Oh, I just love it. I seriously could just look at this all day. So that for me, as a viewer of art, is what I'm really drawn to. So I was online, and I was looking around, and I saw this, and I was very drawn to it. However, this is pretty simple, and I think you're going to like doing it. You will be able... Sorry, a bird, I think just, I don't know. Anyway, distractions. I think you'll be able to make this your own, and I have lots of ideas for you. First off, if you have an animal that you like, you can find a silhouette, which is what these bats are, on Google. So easy. Just open up Google and type in, my son, he loves wolves. So type in silhouette, you can see I've Googled some of them, of a wolf. Alright? And once you get that, you have tons of images. Now, if you have a printer at home, you can print this off and then use my tracing technique that many of you know now, and just trace this onto your paper. You can break up the paper like we just saw, and just by using a simple ruler with lines. So, step one, or choice one, is a silhouette and creating a background. Now, it doesn't have to be an animal. Silhouette of KC Chiefs logo. There you have it, the Kansas City Chiefs. Some logos are easier than others. So for this, the KC or the arrowhead is somewhat simple to draw. If you're getting into something that's a little bit more intricate, it's going to be harder. But like my kid at home, Griffin, he loves Nike. So doing this swoosh on his artwork would be something that would interest him. Art is for you. I can't say it enough. Art is for you. Choose something that makes you happy. So, choice number one is to pick either a silhouette and get started there, or I have some other ideas for you. There are so many really cool things. Alright, so let's go with leaves. These leaves are very simply done. So, you take the leaf shape, you draw it over and over in different sizes, you add the vein down the middle, right here, and then take your ruler and start adding lines. You can do this one in colored pencil or marker, what am I talking about? Right off the bat. Here's another one that's done, and I love it. This line, instead of just going straight to the side, they went ahead and did back and forth, all the way and filling the shape. That's called concentric lines. Very cool. Leaves are a really great place to start. Here is something else you could do with this project. Take your ruler, lay it across the page, divide it up into all these different little shapes. Then what they did is actually really simple. They started in one corner and with just a little circle and just kept repeating that shape until the entire space was filled. This looks really hard. It's not. It's actually super easy. So this is another choice for you. I found this and I thought this was really cool. This, of course, would push you outside your limits. This is probably definitely a more advanced line design with texture. The other part about this that makes it so unique is the coloring. So don't let that fool you. It's not all the line design. The color has a lot to do with why this piece is successful. But I definitely wanted to show it to you anyway. There also is a bird. And if you wanted to try this with an animal and creating the entire animal out of lines, you definitely could. I had saved one of this piece is also really cool, but it breaks up the space. This is very asymmetrical, which means things are not perfectly the same on one side as they are on the other, but it gives balance to the piece. It looks great. They also have lots of things going on. So they've got these flowers, which are really simple. It's just a curved shape with a straight across and then the lines. Could you take these flowers and create your own composition? Absolutely. These circles remind me either of like a citrus type of, lemon or lime, but they also kind of remind me of a bicycle tire. So there's a lot going on in this piece, and you can definitely pick and choose what you want and put it in your art. I want you to have lots and lots of choice. This is one that I thought was really cool. They, instead of using a black outline for this piece, they used a dark purple. So there's actually no black in this image, but the dark creations, I just think it's great. It was a perfect use of color. Great choice. So dividing up your image and then using lines and color. Here's another piece that somebody else tried, a student, in black and white. I think it looks awesome. It's amazing. It's really great. Applaud them for their effort. That is awesome. And again, you can see there's some others down here. There's another one that I wanted to show you that I think is very soothing. The color palette of this one is definitely for fall or autumn, and they did the lines, but then they colored in the background really lightly. This was probably done with some really fancy markers that they sell at art stores, but it's great. I love it. Very simple, but yet very soothing. Again, somebody tried it and they posted, and I think that is a wonderful piece. Kudos to them. Here's another one with leaves that is also very nicely done. This just totally reminds me of a tropical vacation where they have those big green leafy palms. Again, this is going to take you some time. You are going to be creating a lot of lines. You may need to take breaks if you get anxious or bored as you're creating it. I find it very soothing, and some of you may too, but the very first thing you need to do is to get started. So I'm going to pick one of the easier ways to do this project and show you now. All right, so I'm going to switch over to my video camera, and right here, oops, wrong kind of paper, sorry. I'm going to be creating today on a piece of just scratch paper. This is just blank copy paper, and I am going to take my ruler, and first thing is I'm just going to divide my space. I'm going to be using a black pen so it shows up nice and dark for you on the screen, and I'm going to make this bigger. There we go. So first thing, I'm just going to start dividing my page. You definitely need a ruler that is going to be your friend. Well, I hope it's going to be your friend. We'll see. I like to take my lines from one side of the paper all the way to the other at first, just because it's really going to break up the space. Try to avoid doing this, okay? I now have a tiny itty-bitty space that I get to fill or cover with my silhouette if I choose to do that. But try to keep your spaces rather big and chunky. Okay, so now as I'm moving about, I'm going to just grab this line. Whoops, get it on the screen, Lerno. I'm going to grab this line here and then go off the page. So this time I'm not going the full length of the page. I am simply breaking up spaces. I'm going to break up this space by grabbing here and coming down. Okay? So just breaking up some space. I'm going to go here and off the page. I can come over here, chunk that. I just want some spaces that are unique but not too tiny. So I did create that issue here. One of the most simple pieces of advice I can give you for this project, if you're wanting to stay on the simple side, is to pick that silhouette that you like and create it. So I'm going to switch. I'm going to grab another piece of paper, and I need to create a silhouette now. So I have to figure out what it is I want to portray on my piece. Well, I'm kind of into hearts right now. I don't know why. I think it's just all the love. So I'm going to just sketch. Hopefully you can see this. I chose a pencil. Remember, to create a perfect heart, if you like one side versus the other, like I right now am leaning towards this side, then all I need to do to get that is I fold my paper right here and right there, and I cut. So grabbing some scissors. I liked this curve that I created. So I'm just going to cut this out. Remember, work smarter, not harder. If you like something, make it work for you. I'm the one that drew this line, so by cutting it isn't cheating. I'm just doing it smarter. Alright, so there's my heart. So I could easily put my heart right here, and it could even go off the page a little, and then trace. Now, because I want this to be a silhouette, I'm going to switch to Sharpie, and I'm going to trace. Now, this is not my final design, remember that. So if I don't like this, I can still make a change, and I'm glad it's not my final because I just wibbled on that line, wibble wobbled. Okay? But I'm just trying to get an idea if this design is going to work for me. So now I'm imagining that black. I love it. I think I would, on my final, I would do this entirety in black, and then in these sections I'm going to do warms with maybe some purples thrown in. So, or maybe I'll just do blues. I don't know what I want to do yet. But I definitely like this design, so I would switch over at this point. Alright? I think that that is plenty for you to do today. And I'm sorry I didn't have this. For those of you in Mrs. Graves' class, if you're watching, I'm sorry I didn't have this up sooner. If you're watching this on a different week, then you are, I have this plenty of time for you. I miss you. I hope you're doing great. And I will see you soon. Bye, guys.